I'm here today to talk about training a new kind of lawyer, a lawyer that builds technology for clients and to solve social justice issues. I know some of you in the audience because you've inspired me to do some of the things that I'm going to be talking about, which I think are truly unique, not so much because they're great ideas, but just because nobody else is doing them. And part of where I come from is the ABA. I'm former vice chair of ABA Tech Show. So I have been inundated with the tools that lawyers use to improve access to justice and just to do their normal day-to-day jobs. Another passion that I have is diversity. I'm a commissioner with the ABA Commercial on Racial and Ethnic Diversity in the profession, and it was my hope to increase opportunities for underrepresented minorities in the legal profession by creating initiatives for HBCUs, and at the same time, to help them solve a problem that we all have at our law schools of declining enrollment, declining bar passage rates, fewer jobs, and rising student loan debt. So I was looking for a way for students to have a new outlook on their careers by being legal technologists, and while at the same time understanding how they might use technology to solve the justice gap that John Mayer was talking about and a couple other speakers are talking about. And this gap is something that we can begin to address in law school, and thanks to John and thanks to Callie, we've begun to start to attack that 80% problem that we have of meeting the unmet need for those folks who cannot afford us. The vast majority of Americans, some of us in this room, probably couldn't afford to hire me as a lawyer because I bill out at hundreds of dollars an hour. And so what we're looking at is innovation. And the kind of innovation that I've tried to create or bring to my law students, both as an adjunct at Southern University Law Center, which is an HBCU, and at Lunsford, is to teach things that are already out there to my students, so not only can they become better lawyers, but perhaps they can become entrepreneurs. This is a funny thing that I saw while I was going on a bike ride, using a toilet as a planter. There are so many other things out there that are already available that if we just bring them into the law, put a new spin on them, we can make a difference. And I want to talk about a few of these things. But first, what we're doing in law schools isn't necessarily focused on the future of the law. How do we increase service delivery by using technology? Our focus, and this is a survey that was done, is on anything but technology. So I'm trying to preach the importance of teaching lawyers to be tech savvy. And what I'm asking for is not originality, because that's not necessarily what innovation is. Sometimes innovation is doing something different or differently from what you've already done and executing on it, which requires courage to be different and do things differently. Some of the things that we've been doing at Northern Kentucky University, thanks to John's A to J software, we went to the local legal aid and we say, what can we do for you to solve a problem with my students in law and technology? And they said, let's solve the expungement problem because we cannot serve all the clients that come to us. So we created technology called Start Over Kentucky using A to J software. We're not the only ones. John showed you the rise in the usage of A to J author over the last 10 years. And it's going up, and I encourage you to spend some time and talk to John about how simple it is to integrate this into your programming. It could be the basis of it. But we've taken it one more step. We've taught our students to deconstruct the law and said, how do we solve a social justice problem? So we've created a new application to deal with officer-involved shootings called Hello Officer, partnering with a technology company to start the process to begin to attack this problem that Black Lives Matter is out there doing today. My students in another class are now trying to deal with the heroin issue. Again, taking a social justice issue and using technology as lawyers, understanding all the social and legal implications of that. In the meantime, we've taken that next step to monetize Hello Officer, to actually have it built, to try to go find funding so that my students, the students at Southern Law Center, can become entrepreneurs. Because if we want to find jobs for our students, One thing is to just let them go and see what they can do for themselves. Also, we've taken John's A to J software and we've created an e-clinic, which allows us, by building the same technology tool for expungements in Louisiana, next semester we are going to have Southern law students begin to counsel students remotely using this technology and just using Skype-type legal software. And then we're going to try to win the Value Classic BizTech Challenge with our implementation of software to work with LEAD, the law enforcement pretrial diversion. And our hope, or what my hope is that after this semester, that my students will not only understand what it means to build technology, but what it means to be an entrepreneur. So if they want to, they can continue to serve their clients better, but if they want to take the other road, the road that Dan Lear has taken with Avo and others, they can become legal technologists and increase opportunities to close the justice gap. Thank you.